I started Best You Career Advantage. I didn't even have a business plan. And I don't even remember, it was like the fall of 2019 or 2020 or something. A friend of mine recommended that I listen to Ignite. I think it must have been 2020, Cami. You did
It
Ignite
was 2020
online.
because it was virtual, right?
It was virtual, right? So
Yeah.
I'm literally in a group of people like this in my basement in 2020, and I am probably the definition of fear. If you look in the dictionary or if you watch Inside Out, if they had a picture of fear, that would have been me. And so I go to this event and I hear Cami talking, and I see another career coach being Cami's what's called a fire dancer. And I'm like, how can I do that? And then I met with another coach on that Saturday who used to be Cami's coach. Her name's Tommy. And I was inspired by Virtual Ignite to sign up to work with Cami. So in 2021 and 2022, for 2 years, I worked with Cami and she was my business coach. And in that time, I started Best You Talent Advisors, or I changed things and I started this meetup group called Colorado Career Connectors. And in 3.5 years, this community has helped over 5,000 people from all over the world. We have done recruitment for 10 different businesses. And I am an executive career coach. My clients have earned over $7 million in total compensation, promotion, raises, advancement, etc. So it is through communities like this. It is through connections like this. It's through vulnerability and honesty and trust and really digging in to what is your voice and what is your visibility. And you're going to learn so much of that from Cami today. Um, I'm excited to have all of you here. Just a little bit about what you're going to hear today. My first year with Cami, we did this thing called Soul Speaks, and it allowed me to sit in a room with other women and hear their stories and hear their truth and to speak from our soul. And so through Colorado Career Connectors, we have given over 60 webinars. And a lot of what I learned and a lot of what has had this ripple effect to my clients and to the over 5,000 people we've helped comes from what I learned in Career Connector in Soul Speaks. And then part of Cami's group was to have equine therapy. So I am loving the woo woo that I'm hearing here, because dropping into your soul inspired, heart centered leadership and how you get out of here is hopefully what will happen today as we all make these micro pivots and we all think about how we lean into and take up space. Cami taught me it's okay to take up space and not to literally, I wear shawls a lot. And she's like, take that off, like get moving. I mean, I had, shirts and stuff underneath, but like get moving and like show and take up space. So you were in a very safe space today. You were in a crowd where we hope that you do hear nuggets. We hope that you get these micro pivots of heart inspired and soul inspired. How do I move forward? How do I take up space? How do I ask for help? That's what Cami and I both do. I do it on more the career expert perspective and recruitment and talent advisory expert. So if any of you are in need of that, that's my expertise. Cami, I'd love for you to take it away, and can't wait to hear what you have to share with the group.
I had to leave my home this morning because my electricity went out. So I had to find a new space to connect with you. And I'm at the Origin Red Rocks Hotel, which is a hotel that I use quite often. Shelly, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I mean, it's been such a journey to be on this journey with you. And what you have built is so incredible. And Shelly talked about being one of the fire dancer, or about the fire dancer winners. Shelly was one of my fire dancer winners, and the work that she did from the perspective of how she grew her business and how smart she was in building community and how she got really visible. That's why she won that award that year. So, Shelley, it's really an inspiration to see what you built. And I'm just super, super honored to have been a part of that journey with you. So let's dive in. So you guys are thinking about you want to start a business, right? So I'm super excited to hear about that because I'll tell you, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about me. I left the corporate world. I was a VP of marketing and branding in the oil and gas software industry for 20 plus years. And I left 15 years ago. And so there was this lucky thing for me was that I got laid off in 2008. And I always say that the second best gift that happened in 2008 for me was it was 2008, where there wasn't a lot of the other VP of marketing jobs out there. And so luckily I was able to, it was like this avenue of entrepreneurship opened up to me because it's so important to it's so important to me that I went down this pathway. I was really meant to go down this pathway. I love what I do. I am obsessed with helping entrepreneurs build businesses that they truly love. And I want to help businesses I want to help people grow businesses that have both time prosperity and wealth prosperity. Because for me, I came out of the world and, you guys can do a show of hands who worked really, really hard in your last corporate job where you were working tons and tons of hours and it was the grind, right? And so when I left behind the corporate world, I was like, okay, I don't want to build businesses that I want the time and the time prosperity to come about, but I also want the wealth prosperity. And I'll tell you, there was a time early on in my business where I was like, I really thought that, I'm doing what I love and I don't need to make as much money as I once did back in the corporate days. And a long time ago, I threw that out the door because the great news is we actually don't have ceilings over us that's going to hold us back in the entrepreneur space. And we can really set up our businesses that will help us grow in a way that can help us exceed our former corporate salaries. And so I want you to think about it from that perspective is this is a really open pathway for you to be able to think about building your business. Not to say that it's a straight, easy line, and I don't ever want to be the person that says you just pull the handle and it just all happens magically, because it doesn't. It's a lot of work to be an entrepreneur, and it's the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. And I love the woo that's been going on in this room, because I'll tell you that for me, so I talk a lot about soul plus strategy, and I didn't have a soulful bone in my body when I left the corporate world 16 years ago. Has really been a big spiritual journey for me. So I weed together that inner wisdom of what we bring, like listening to our inner wisdom, and you'll get a little bit of that today. And also then what's the strategy to help you get there? Because the strategy side as an entrepreneur is definitely different than it is in the corporate world. So that's a little bit about me. Today, we're going to get a clear vision of the company that you'd like to create. So you get a little time to think about what is this company that I'd like to create? And you'll start to look at what's that voice of you and how would you really attract your ideal clients into your business? And then how do you really start to enhance your visibility? And as we get into that, and I don't know, we'll have to see how we do on time, how much we can get into this last part of it. But it's really about building some know, love, and trust marketing strategies. I was a former VP of marketing and branding, but I do marketing very differently than I did back in the corporate world. And then how do we really build a nurturing sales system that's all about relationships? It's about how are you attracting people into your business. So I want you to think about what it would feel like to set up time, I want you to think about what it would feel like to have both time prosperity and wealth prosperity, because time prosperity means something different for everyone. And when I think about time prosperity, it's white space on my calendar so that I can do my big picture thinking. And it's also white space to do the things that I love to do. I mean, there's lots of things that I love to do. And so it's like, I want that space to do that. but it's also energetically how I show up and move between meetings and how I show up, and I'm not rushing from one thing to another. And I think that's a really important part of what, when I think about time prosperity, is it means that we can move through things and be really grounded and not rushed and kind of up in our heads like, oh, I've got to get somewhere really quick. Wealth prosperity really means a lot of things. I mean, it can be certainly more dollars in our bank. And it also can mean just the wealth of life, right? It's like the wealth of how you spend time with family and friends and doing things that you love. So it all fits together. And that's what I really am passionate about helping people build. This is someone who left her corporate job in March 2023. She started working with me just about a year ago, and in this last year, her revenue has grown 470%, and she's expanded to 8 contractors in her business. And it's been really fun to see this growth happen for her. And it's because I have the right tools. I have the right tools. I have the right processes to help you really think through how you want to grow your business. And so this is something that, as you guys, I wanted to share this one right up front because literally she just left her job, back in March of 2023. And she's just, she's grown her business significantly this year. She does like back office operations type work. So my goal for you today is to really help you dream big. And if this is starting to spark something in you that you are interested in, you're like, oh my gosh, this is exciting for me. I'd love to earn the opportunity to keep having conversations with you. At the end of our call today, I'll talk about different ways that you can, do different things that, a couple different ways that you could keep having this conversation going. So let's dive in. These are the pillars that I use in my business models that I teach in my programs. So we're going to go through all 3 of these pillars today. I call them the soul plus strategy pillars of prosperity. And vision is very much about the vision of what you want to make happen, from a bigger picture perspective, the impact that you want to make, but also about the life that you want to create. And when we look at that, it means that we have to have the right packaging and the right pricing. And I'll give you some tips on this as you're starting to think about how do you put together your business model and to really meet that vision that you're setting up for yourself. And then second, we have voice. And voice is very much about, how you're attracting clients into your business. And it's also about who you're standing up to be as a thought leader in your space. So we'll dive into that. And then the third one is visibility. And this is where you're really attracting clients into your business, because at the end of the day, we need to have clients coming into our world, right? So these 3 pillars are the core pieces to helping you grow your business. So let's start with a clear vision. What happens with a clear vision is this gives you a way to really build a business model, a simplified business model. And you'll hear me say the word simple often today, because I believe businesses that are set up to grow and to scale have a very simple process. And I'll talk a little bit about that. And it will help you really design a business and a life that you love, and help you lead with impact and mission. And I find a lot of people who have left the corporate world are being called to make a difference with their work. Does that resonate to you guys, to be able to make a difference with, what your gifts are? And I think this is a big part of vision. So a vision-inspired business is life you love, it's a business you love, and it's a mission and vision impact equals that bigger vision. So we're going to start with this first one, a life you love. And I want you to just take a minute to think about what's your why. When you think about creating, if you start thinking about creating a business, just jot down, take like 30 seconds to jot down what's your why, what's calling you to be thinking about starting a business. And then if you want to drop it into the chat, that'd be awesome. So Lisa has to share her mediumship gift and bring peace and comfort to many people as possible. That's a really beautiful one, Lisa, because it's, I said we were chatting before as you first got on. It's like that's been something that's really been meaningful to me, and it definitely makes a difference in people's lives. As a speaker, I love the speaking business, and I want to help other speakers become more successful. It's so true, right? And there's so many details. I love that, Julie. My why is to create communication forums to advance humane dialogue. Ooh, I love that. That's really powerful. So you're starting to get into your why, right? And I like people to start here because this will be the foundation for you when you start to get into your why. Um, so keep and I'm not giving you long to answer any of these questions today, but know that you can have access to this recording. Is that right, Shelley? That be able to have access to it, so that you can go back and you can journal on any of these questions at a much deeper level. So let's look at a business you love. So what does your business want to be? And this is a really interesting question to play with, because this starts to open up into, does my business, I asked myself this question years ago, and the answer that I got when I started a journal on this is that it wanted to be a spirit business. And I was like, what? That was such a surprise to me. And that's where the soulful part and the strategy part really started to mesh together. So, take 30 seconds on that one also to see what comes up for you on that. What does your business want to be? And then and to add on to that, what is the impact you want to create, right? So it's a little harder, Lisa says. I'm not sure how to describe it. Maybe this question will, what's the impact that you want to create, right? Play with this one. Keep getting the insight that people need more woo in your work. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, I think we're being called to that. I think we're being called to listen to, and when I think of woo, I think of that inner wisdom, right? And that inner wisdom is what guides us. Julie says, combine both my speaking career to share my message and use my speaking knowledge to help other speakers share their message. Awesome. Help people feel empowered, mentor across generations. Awesome. So these are all wonderful seeds for you to really work with in your business. So when I start to look at this, I say, what do I want to change in my business? I want to change the belief that we just have to work harder. And one of the ways we do that is we simplify our businesses. So as you're starting to think about how you're building your business, simplifying your business will help you build a business model that you're not just having to work harder. And we'll talk a little bit about more of this. We're going to shift from heavy to light. We want to have more time prosperity. Want to turn off the burnout because there's too many people that are burned out and their nervous systems are shot. So it's like, how do we really balance ourselves through this? And then this is a big one for me is no holding back and playing small. It's like really stepping into what you're being called to do. So these are some of the things that I want to change with my work. And I've got to work with a lot of women starting their businesses over the years, and men as well. And what I've discovered is that a lot of times we're throwing a whole lot of stuff into the bucket of things that we can offer, and we can create growth. So we can say, I'm going to create this product, and I'm going to get another product, and I'm going to get another product, I'm going to get another product. And this starts to get a little bit heavy. And what you find is that you don't have to like be real intentional. This can be very organic. It can create growth in your business by just putting more stuff out there. But it also can keep you really busy. And I don't even like to use the word busy because you just keep adding more stuff into it. And there's no scalability to this. If you start to think about, okay, get really clear about how you want to serve your clients, who you're serving, and you create a pathway. And we're going to talk about customer journey work here as we get deeper into today. But as you're creating a pathway for that you're going to be serving your clients, and you have fewer products, but it's a pathway. So this starts to build what I call a smart business model. And when I look at this, so smart is simplified. We're simplifying, we're moving from all kinds of products to just a few products serving a very unique audience. And that's the second one here is market, is that we really know who we're serving. We've dug deep into, who's that ideal soul client. And I call them a soul client that you want to be serving. And what is it about them? Let's get into their customer journey so that we really know who they are. And then we create offer sets that are ascending. So we start, here's an entry point product where people can come in and work with us. And then there's a next level, and then there's a next level. And so this becomes an ascending product model. And you can learn to become really in tune to what your client is going to need next so that you're creating that offering to serve them. So this is upfront. When you're building your business upfront, if you take your time to think through this deep work of who you serve and how you serve them and how you meet them up on this journey, you can build this model that will be simplified for you. And then it also becomes repeatable because it's the same types of clients. You can leverage this content, you can leverage it over and over and over again, and you're serving your clients in a big way that way. And it also creates time prosperity. So that's what a smart business model is. And it's very much about, on this other part of it's ascending, it's a high value product. So you're really serving those most expensive problems for your clients. So that's a smart business model. This was someone who came to me a couple of years ago, Janine Vanderberg, and she says, I'm putting my voice out into the world. She's actually speaking all around the world. And she really wanted to have a simplified business model. She had built a multi-million-dollar business at one point and decided it was just not what she wanted. She sold that business and she wanted to do something different, but she was passionate about anti-ageism. And by applying some of these principles to smart business model, she was able to really tune away, like say, okay, I'm going to get more focused on this area that I really want to focus on. I'm going to let go of some things that I don't want to focus on. And what she has found, her business has grown. She's speaking around the globe. She's known for her work in anti-ageism. And so it's getting really clear about what kind of business you want to start.
Hey,
So
Kami.
that is, yeah.
So Janine has spoken with Colorado Career Connectors or Best You Career Connectors a couple of times on anti-aging. And if anybody's interested in some of that content, I'm more than happy to provide our YouTube page or free YouTube page for that. Janine is an amazing friend of ours, and the fact that Kami could work with her and really help her expand. It doesn't matter your age or if you're a woman or whatever, all these negative thoughts, like I hope that you're starting to clarify if you are going into a business, that vision, and then know that you can take up that space for your voice. So I just had to add that, Kami, because
I'm
I
glad you
love
did.
Janine. And
And
Janine actually won top 25 most impactful women in business from the Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and Kami won several years ago as well. So you're surrounding yourselves with some very insightful folks when you enter into this world.
Totally. And Janine, I mean, she's 71. You would never know that by her.
Mhm.
And she coached with me the year I turned 60. And it was like such the best blessing for me because I was able to just see anti-ageism through a whole different lens. And I was like, oh, I have so much more work to do. So I love Janine. Okay, let's dive into your voice. So this is where you start to really attract clients into your business, and you build a brand that people are attracted to. You can really double and triple the lifetime values of your clients because you're in tune to what's going on in their world, and you can simplify how you market with you're simplifying how you market because you're so in tune with what it is your clients need. So I look at messaging through a matrix. So we start with the brand from the inside out. Then we get into speaking your client's love language, and it's really how we get into your customer journey. And then we get into one message for the world. And so your one message for the world is your thought leadership messaging. So this is just different layers of messaging that you would develop in your business. And we're going to start with your brand from the inside out, because we fall in love with souls and not faces. People feel who we are, and that's where we want to start with. We want to build our brands from the inside out. So this is where I believe our soul work is as important, if not more important, as our strategy and our businesses. So when we are building a brand when we want to stand out from all the noise that's out in the world, if you show up as you, there's nobody that can be just like you, right? Because you have life experiences and you've got wisdom that you've brought forward that no one else has ever had. You have stories that you've lived in your lifetime that no one has ever had. So you start with your passions, your strengths, your values, you get into the essence of who you are, and then you get into the essence of your brand. So you start to build your brand from the inside out. And this is something that I've been doing. I've been doing essence work for 15 years because, this is where I started. Initially, I was working with a lot of executives who were hearing a calling for something more in their life. And this was what my book, Fire Dancer, was built around. So this inner work of really getting clear of who you are, and then how are you showing up in the world. So you're taking that, you're standing up as you. So that's where we start. And then we get into your customer journey. So how do we speak your client's love language? And this is how you start to attract clients into your business. And we simplify. We simplify your soul client attraction. So we get into understanding first your ideal client's story. Like if you bring to mind who you want to be working with, what are they living in right now? What's showing up? So that Julie has been talking about, she works with speakers, right? And so what's in the minds of speakers, what are the stories that are showing up all the time in a speaker's mind, right? It's like really get into, they might be worried about all the details that have to happen before they get to that speaking event. They have to make sure that, they've sent the organization all the information. So she can, she's tapped into all those different things. Then we get into what's their desired transformation. They want to take some of that project management off of their desk, right? They don't want to have to be responsible for it. They want someone else to run that. And that's where you get into people saying yes to you. So when you start to do some deep journey work around your ideal clients, then you can build your offerings to serve this journey. You build your marketing and your content to serve this journey, and you build your sales conversations to serve this journey. So this is a really beautiful path towards that. So think about who your ideal client is, what I call your soul client, and just jot them down. And then we're not going to have time to go through these questions in depth, but take a screen capture of this. These are questions that are really powerful for you to be able to ask yourself, what do my customers care about? What are the roadblocks they're facing? What's keeping them awake at night? All these questions are ways that you can get deeper into their customer journey to you. And if you use these questions, you're going to get a really clear picture of who your ideal client is. It's a great way that you can, just really be in touch with what's going on in their life right now. All these questions are really powerful. I highly recommend you just, really take some time to dive into that. So getting into your client's journey to yes, as you're speaking your client's love language. You want them to, be the one. You want to really build that know, love, and trust of who you are. And you also want to be solving their most urgent problems, because, and their most expensive problems, because that's where they're saying, yes, this is something that I need right now. So that's getting to yes. I want to offer you guys up a free download. I think it's about a 17-page workbook that can take you much deeper into this work that we've been talking about. And my executive assistant Jessica's here, and she just dropped that link in for you. If you want the link, you can do it there as well. But this is a way that you can keep going deeper into this work as you're starting to think about building your business. So that's just something that you can download. This is another one of my clients, Kathleen June, and one of the things that by doing this customer journey work, she's actually tripled how her repeat customers were coming to her, because she tripled her income because the repeat customers were coming back to her more because she knew what they needed next. She got deep into that customer journey and was able to know what they needed next. So let's dive into visibility. And this is really where you start. So this is the third pillar. And you're moving from attracting just a single client at a time and really speaking to hundreds at a time. And you become known as the go-to leader in your space. And you get to ignite and really just embody who you are. And the beautiful thing for us as entrepreneurs today is there's so many ways you can get visible. I mean, we can be podcasting, we can be on stages, we can be doing live streams, we can be doing webinars just like this. There's so many different ways that we can get visible, and that's a really beautiful thing. And the visibility is the fire in your growth. This is how, as you start to do the first two pieces of this work, you build your offers and how much you're going to be charging and all that sort of thing, and then you move into the next part of this, and that's where your visibility can really add the fire to how you grow your business. So we're going to continue this matrix that we've been talking about, this messaging matrix, into the one message for the world. And this is where you start to stand out as a leader in your space. So this is one of my clients, Dana Kirschmart. Her one message for the world is, what if we stopped asking girls if they're good at math and instead started asking what problems they want to solve? So she is a rocket scientist, and she's wanting to change the aerospace industry and the aviation industry. And so she's out there. She says, we got to stop asking these dumb questions. And so this is something she's throwing a stake in the ground and is really wanting to, make a difference with that. Another one of my clients, she says, midlife isn't a crisis. It's an opportunity for profound momentum and impact. And so you're getting this message out there that gets people to stop and think and act and do differently. It's not a marketing positioning statement or anything like that, but it's really a higher level thought leadership that you can take out onto podcasts, onto television interviews. I mean, there's so many places you could take that. So visibility is the fire in your growth, and having that messaging that helps carry you forward is really important part of that. Another part of visibility is how you attract your soul clients with a nurturing sales system into your business. And this is how you start to build a process as to how people are coming into your businesses. And it really creates pipelines for your future. I mean, it gets people coming in now, but it also creates pipelines for your future. And it's going to simplify and streamline your marketing with repeatable assets, things so that you build these assets, you can leverage them and use them over and over again, because it's your core teachings and it's how you bring people into your business. So embracing a nurturing sales system isn't just about boosting your numbers. It's a commitment to really creating relationships in your business. And to me, that's one of the best things about being entrepreneurs is we build these wonderful relationships with people, and it can be really, really powerful how we stay in touch with people and how we nurture those relationships. So you all have seen marketing funnels over the course of your life, I'm sure, right? And one of the things I like to do, and I like to look at this as a know, love, and trust marketing funnel. And I actually like to start at the bottom of the funnel, which is a different approach than most marketing funnels. Most often we're looking at them from top down, but I like to look at them from the bottom up, because I'm guessing that right now, every single one of you has contacts and connections in your communities that you would be able to start having conversations with about the work that you want to be doing in the world. So this is where you start. you start at the bottom of this funnel and start to have conversations with people that already know, love, and trust you. And then as you start to, as you start to grow and your business starts to grow, you start to have teachings that you share. You can build that out. You start to go up and you can invite people from the bottom into that group. And then as you start, after you've done that, you can say, okay, I want to start reaching other people's audiences. And you change this up in a different way where then you start to go top down. But at the beginning of your business, you always start with the people who know, love, and trust you. So you start at the bottom of this. So as you guys are starting to think about your businesses, don't start thinking about what are all the fancy things I can do in my business to grow my business. Start with the people you know right now and start having conversations and start sharing with them things that you might be able to you say, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm doing. And you're going to find people want to help you. And that's the beauty of starting from the bottom up. This, you just saw Deanna. I just talked about her. She's right now. So she's been working with me for a while, but she's on a mission to really, less than 3% of leaders in aviation and aerospace are women. And she's on a mission to really change that. And so she's built sales processes where she's working with executives at the top of the funnel or not at the top of the funnel. She's working with executives she knows, and she's bringing them together in roundtables. And then she's also creating community. So she's really building the bottom of this funnel with connections that she already has. She's speaking around the globe. So that starts to do the top down work. But she's built this pathway for people to come into her business by really having conversations with people that started with people that she knew. Okay, so each one of these strategies is really powerful on its own, but the magic happens when you work with all three. And I actually call this the spiral journey of your business. And why that is because these three pillars are going to be something as you start your business. If you get them, as you work through them and as you start your business, it will get you off the ground. It'll be the foundation that will carry you to that next level. So it will take you to, it will take you to $100,000. It will take you to the next level, 100 to $250,000. It will take you over 250,000. These are principles that will carry your business forward. And so once you learn how to do these three principles, the vision, the voice, and the visibility, you'll be able to shift that knob up for your business each time. Okay, so those are the three pillars, and I need a drink of water. You guys, what's your biggest takeaway you've gotten so far? Drop it in the chat. Start with your authentic voice and story. I love that one. Message to the world. Yeah. Yeah. Those can be all really useful. So thanks, guys. Okay. So there's one more thing that you must have between voice, vision, and visibility. Think about my special sauce. Yeah, definitely, Paul. Stop asking what are you good at and ask what problems do you want to solve. There you go. It's our factor, because how we resonate matters. And this is very much about, the energy of who we are and how we are showing up in the world. And so our factor starts with our mindset. And I can tell you as entrepreneurs, we're going to have all kinds of stories that show up for us and, kind of, showing up like, who are you to do this and all this sort of thing. And we have to just learn to recognize they're going to show up and really work on practices that will help you with that. Body is very much about how do we embody our work? How do we show up in our messages? How do we take care of our bodies from a nourishment perspective, from a movement perspective, from an energetic perspective? Spirit, and I say spirit however you spirit, but it's a very much a soulful journey, and listening to that inner wisdom can really help us. But however you spirit, that can come into the picture of this. And then community, having community to support you. So that's the fourth, you have the vision, voice, and visibility, and then our factor really carries underneath all of those. There you go, right there. So pillars of your business, and I know we've got about 10 minutes left. I want to make sure we get through this. Let's break this down. And as you guys are, this is a really good exercise and it's not very long, but it's, I want you to think about what's the amount of revenue that you want to generate from your high value offer, whatever, it's like, what's the amount of revenue that you want to create in this new year? And you can say what the highest value offer that you might offer for your clients would be. So I'll give you an example. Say you want to earn $100,000 a year from your highest value offer. Figure out how many high value offers you need to sell to make that amount. So here's an example. Say you have a $5,000 offer. It means to get to 100,000, you're going to need to have 20 sales to get to $100,000. Figure out how many high value offers you need to sell per month. In this example, it's 20 sales per month or less than 2 sales per month. So that becomes really doable, right? Because less than 2 sales, you're having conversations, you're starting to open the door to this. So, and then you want to figure out how do you want to secure those first 5 sales using what we've been talking about, and starting at the bottom of the people that you already know, people in your communities. How do you get there, right? I want to give you one other example because I talk about using your high value offers. Figure out how much you want to generate from your high value offer this year. So say you want to earn $300,000 from your high value offer. Figure out how many high ticket offers you need to sell to make that amount. $15,000 offers, 20 sales equals $300,000 a year. So we're still doing just 20 sales, but we've upped what that dollar amount is. So you want to be you want to be bringing high value offers to your clients. That's what you really want to be thinking about. How do you do that, right? It's like, if you're a consultant, if you're a coach, it's like looking at it through that lens. And then, figuring out, again, we're still at 2 sales per month. And that turning the dial up. And any of my clients will tell you that I'm pretty good at saying, you need to turn your prices up. Did I ever tell you that, Shelley? Yeah. So it's turning that dial up can really make a difference for you. So, hey, here's the thing, is each one of you is unique and what you're wanting to bring out into the world. And what I love to do is I love to roll up my sleeves and get in my clients' businesses and really help them. And I have tools, I have frameworks, that have worked. I know my clients, it works for my clients. I have powerful community that really helps support my clients together because we're moving together as community. And every single client that I have worked with over the last 15 years has been different. And it's like I have the right tools, but I love to really look at businesses and look at them strategically and say, okay, this is what your business needs, and this is who you are, and this is how you grow. And so I like to look at it through that lens that every person is unique and every person has that superpower. So what we have learned today is how to build a simplified business model. And I know I've gone through this really, really fast. I'm going to give you ways that we can slow down on this. How to build a simplified business model and generate more time, prosperity, and wealth prosperity. You've learned that speaking your client's love language will attract more soul clients into your business, like the ideal clients, your favorite kinds of clients that you want to work with. And you've learned that visibility is the fire in your growth. So when you add these pieces together, the vision, the voice, and the visibility in our factor plus community, you really get, this is how you can grow your business. What I'd suggest to you guys, don't try to figure this out on your own. There's so many people out there that know how to help you build your businesses more quickly. And so I've been helping entrepreneurs do this. There's a lot of people out there that have been helping entrepreneurs build businesses. So get support, because that was one of the things that I very early on learned in my own business, that I was like, as a VP of marketing and branding, I know how to do this sort of thing. And it slowed down my progression in the very beginning because I didn't make that investment in the very first year of my business. But when I did, it was like my business grew much more quickly. So it can be really powerful. So a couple things for you. I'm going to share a couple ways that you can do some more things that we can go much deeper on this. October 24th through 26th is coming up pretty quickly, like 2 weeks from tomorrow to be exact. And this is my 10th annual Extraordinary Women Ignite Conference. I have been putting this event on. It can be open to men and women, so don't feel left out. to the men in the room. You can come join us. We love to have men in the room. So this is where I will go through all of this in a much slower pace than I've shared with you today. And it will give you a foundation to work on your business, and it will also help you really set the path forward. I'm giving you guys a $400 off code. If you use Best You with the B and the Y in caps, if you use that code, that promo code, you'll get $400 off, meaning that you can go to Ignite for $197. I love Shelly, and I really wanted to open this up. Oh, so Lisa, you're going. Excellent. I love it. And so this is coming up in 2 weeks. It's in Golden, Colorado. And it's a really great way that, you can be in a room full of other entrepreneurs and really, set your entrepreneur journey forward. Secondly, I have opened up my calendar today, this afternoon, and tomorrow afternoon for complimentary prosperity audits. So we can talk just a little bit further about what it is that you're wanting to create in your business. And, so they're it's a 15-minute call, but I pretty good at being able to really accomplish a lot in that 15-minute call. And if we feel like we need an additional call, we can do that. When you work with me, I get to intimately know you and your business. I've hit on this already. And also your inner wisdom is part of your team. I help you pull out that inner wisdom of who you are. We get into some visionary business modeling. So we really start thinking about how do you create that scalable business model that creates the business that you love, that creates the lifestyle that you love, and how do we build that so that we create that pathway for you. We talk about how do we amplify your voice and your visibility, and how you get out and become much more powerful in what you stand for, and really shine your light in a big sort of way. This is that no playing small part of it, right? Just become that go-to brand in your space. And then really, how do you look at a tailored marketing strategy for your business, right? It's like, how do you really market your business? Because every business is different. I don't like to say this is what you have to do. It's like, let's do it the way that works best for your business and for you, because there's going to be things you like to do. You become a community of thought partners. You guys go to Ignite. I can tell you guys will be in a room full of amazing people. And you also have me as your guide and mentor. So a couple last just case studies here. Cynthia Farrell was somebody, and you heard me that I'm very good at turning up that dial, what you charge. She is a consultant, and she was putting together a project, and we sat down. I'm like, you're not charging enough. We need to turn that up, what you're charging on this proposal. And what she ended up gaining back on that, by that increase that I had her turn that dial up, covered what it cost to coach with me that year. So that was an awesome story. Nicole Trick-Steinbach was somebody who was right out of the corporate world, and Shelly knows her as well. And she surpassed 6 figures of revenue in her first year of business. Now that doesn't happen for everybody. And I just want to be really clear, that doesn't happen for everyone, but she did. And she really showed up in a way she started showing up in a bigger way. And I think that's really powerful. So if you guys are being called, if you're being called to if something's calling you to entrepreneurship, I would seriously consider it. It's the best journey ever. It's totally the best journey ever. You would never get me to go back to the corporate world because I love what I do. A couple things for you. You were born to create impact, and your message matters. Your soul work is as important as your strategy work. Changing how business is done with time prosperity and wealth prosperity. So this is my passion. I believe this. And your business is waiting, and you are ready. It's your time. So you're invited to join me. Those are the two, ways that you can go deeper with me on this. You can go to come join us at Ignite. It's an amazing event. Or if you want to do a prosperity audit, you could do that. I would say if you're picking a prosperity audit, you might pick it later in the afternoon, this afternoon, if you do pick something. I had to leave home because we had no electricity this morning. So I will have to get back home, and I have a 1 o'clock live that I have to do. So make it later in the afternoon if you're going to schedule something with me. But other than that, I'm open up totally open. I have space and time to answer questions. I don't know if Shelley, if you have a hard stop.
So I just want to thank you, Kami. And even though I've been in business for 5 years, that 2020, when I heard her speak and I saw the women that she brings, I can tell you, Dana Kirchmar, Janine Vanderberg, Nicole Trick-Steinbach, we will all be speaking as panels of inspiration to back up what Kami is talking about. I had to get really clear about I am not broken. What happened at corporate does not define who I am. I had to build my confidence. And in the 2 years that I worked with Kami, I think my revenue increased by like 230%. Kami and I recently ran into each other at a top 25 women dinner. And it's because we both know candidates or people who are shining in that light. And so this is about getting out of your head. And it's okay to ask for help. I was scared to death, she will tell you, to make the investment in me. That investment paid off, whether it's in Kami or if it's another coach or you want some career help with me. Like, again, my clients have earned over $7 million. That's because we get very clear about what is your next role. It all starts in here and in here and in here. Because if you're not amplifying your awesome and you're trying to be who someone else needs, you're going to be everything to everyone, but no one to no one. So I strongly recommend and hope to see you at Ignite. I'm sending my 17-year-old daughter, who is an entrepreneur as well. She might be the youngest one in the room, but she's going to be there. So I hope that this has been engaging, that you got some nuggets. And if I can answer any questions about career or fractional work, that's my world. And we're happy to have all of you online. I'd love to also spend some time with you just to learn more about you. But if not, I hope to see you at Ignite. Thank you, Kami.
Thank you so much, Shelley. I really appreciate you having me here.
You're
Nice to
welcome.
meet everyone.
Yeah, nice to meet all of you and nice to see some of you. If you have questions on fractional or entrepreneurialism or like whatever, Kami and I can definitely help.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, take care, everyone.